That yes, I get it. No. It's in my head. So thank you for that. That's all I can think about right now, Shregs. Yes, Mr. Six. More flags, more fun. Take that for what you will. Yes, thank you very much, Shregs. Gladly. Saints wide receiver Michael Thomas, as we make this smooth transition to what's happening in New Orleans, is going to be sidelined for about 2 more months as he recovers from ankle surgery in June. And it's this surgery that reportedly is causing some tension between Thomas and the organization. Now, the Times-Picayune is reporting Thomas ignored calls from coaches and trainers for 3 months this offseason, and he put off the surgery. Thomas responded to that on social media Monday by saying, quote, "They tried to damage your reputation. You saved theirs by not telling your side of the story." And Coach Sean Payton was asked about Thomas's response and had this to say.
Obviously, we're focused on Mike getting healthy, but outside of that, you know, it's never been an issue.
Do you want to address anything he insinuated today?
No, I don't want to have a press conference based on social media.
All right, Kay and the guys will have more on that story later in the show. Meanwhile, in Minnesota, wide receiver Justin Jefferson went down in practice the other day, suffering a sprained AC joint in his shoulder. But head coach Mike Zimmer says Jefferson will, quote, "be back pretty quick." So good news for Vikings fans. And Bucs fans will like to hear this as well. Tampa set to kick off their preseason schedule on Saturday against the Bengals. And head coach Bruce Arians saying everyone is slated to play, including Tom Brady, who Arians says we can expect to see for a drive or 2. Now, apparently, they need the work. As BA said, yesterday's practice was the worst offensive practice he has seen in 3 years. So, Kay, whether it is a motivational tactic or it's really the real deal, either way, we'll at least be able to see them in action on Saturday.
Appreciate the updates all around. We'll, of course, have more from you throughout the show and on Inside Training Camp Live. Let's talk Steelers, Will. Yeah. You can buzz off and think about that Six Flags guy while we talk about Ben Roethlisberger. All eyes will be on him this season. How closely should we be keeping an eye on his backups, though? We've got all the latest from Pittsburgh right now with Aditi Kinkhabwala.
Okay, it was a hot, sunny Monday here at Heinz Field, and Ben Roethlisberger got a well-deserved Veterans Day off. But unlike in years past, where Roethlisberger might have gone to seek shade or maybe even a golf course, he was out here on this field carrying his wristband, engaged in every single snap, talking to his quarterbacks coach, his new offensive coordinators, the skill position players, and clearly very, very involved in this Steelers team trying to get better at its new offense. Of course, with Roethlisberger taking the day off from snaps, that meant another opportunity for his backup quarterbacks to duke it out for the backup job. Dwayne Haskins continues to put some pressure on Mason Rudolph. He's showing more confidence every single day that he's out here. And when I asked head coach Mike Tomlin about Haskins' progress, he said he's stacking good days on top of good days. With another preseason game on Thursday, it's another opportunity for Haskins to perhaps unseat Rudolph.
Aditi, we got to get Colleen to send you one of those neck fans that she boasts about so often here on NFL Network. Thank you for the latest from Pittsburgh. Let's break down these quarterbacks who will be throwing this season. Yesterday in the show, Kyle, you were pretty, I don't want to say critical. You kept it real about the Steelers wide receivers. You did. How do you guys think Ben Roethlisberger will handle his wideouts this season?
Yeah, yesterday I said that Juju took a lot of heat. The idea that he cared more about his brand than his team. Deontay had to hear that he can't catch. And Claypool took heat for how he handled himself after the Browns loss. And then how does Roethlisberger handle this? I don't think a lot. Roethlisberger's not one of these guys who does a lot of hands-on managing. Like, if it's Peyton Manning, he's screaming at them. If it's Brady, he's screaming at them. If it's Rodgers, is the steely cold stare as he walks off the field. Roethlisberger's a little bit aloof. You know, like he's been around for a lot of action. Whether you want to talk about Antonio or someone less talked about like Martavis Bryant, he doesn't do a whole lot in terms of like, that's not going to work here. He kind of focuses on himself. So I would say that these guys have to handle themselves, and I would love to see Juju, as he's getting to be like the elder statesman, to kind of be a leader here and no longer about dancing and goofiness and fun stuff. Like, maybe you take control of that group, because I don't think it's Ben's MO. I don't.
I'm not sure where these receivers stand as far as like the old Steelers of yesteryear. If they roll their eyes and say, okay, we've heard enough about them. But if there ever was, like, right in smack dab in your face, it's going to Canton on Thursday as a group and seeing those Steeler fans with the Hines Ward jerseys on, seeing Alan Faneca jerseys, seeing Palomalu say that the greatest compliment was when the old Steelers would say, yeah, you could have played with one of us. Like, last year, Steelers wide receivers, we know about the TikTok and the dancing against the Bills before the game and against the Bengals dancing before them. Like, if there ever was like a slap in face or cold water of what it could be, it was seeing Hines Ward induct Alan Faneca into the Hall of Fame, and everyone look at them with such reverence that Palomalu and Ward, these were Super Bowl winners. And that's not even talking about the Lynn Swann and John Stallworth and the Colquitt and the Franco Harris of yesterday.
This is their generation.
This is when they grew up. You'd like to think that, you know, Juju and Claypool and Deontay saw these guys and they're like, gosh, that's pretty cool that Hines Ward and Faneca and, of course, Palomalu can walk around Canton and be revered as they are by the fans. We want that too.
I didn't think of that. That's great.
Yeah, you would hope that they embody the energy from past Steelers. But this is a new generation of players. You know, I feel like Big Ben, if he's not yelling at you, if he's not screaming at you like some of the quarterbacks you mentioned, KB, just get more reps in. And I don't like seeing Big Ben walk around without his shoulder pads on. I know he's a little bit older, and you want to take care of his body. We're not going to see him a lot in the preseason or even in training camp. But you need reps. I mean, the reason there was inconsistency is because I felt like they didn't have enough reps together as a group. More reps mean better steps in the right direction. And listen, you feed them the ball, you feed their confidence. And I think that's what they need in order to play at a high level.
They are talented. Just looking at their numbers, Deontay, Juju, Claypool each put up over 800 yards. They combined for 25 touchdowns last year. The talent is there. Can they put it all together? Now, when Ben Roethlisberger wasn't even 100%. More Good Morning Football on the way. Prime time could do it all, including returning punts. Who's your favorite special? Feels good to say it. It is game week. Just 2 sleeps away from preseason action Thursday night on NFL Network. The Washington football team taking on the Patriots in Foxborough. That's right. We will see their first-round pick, Mac Jones, expected to make his debut. That's just the start, though. We've got 8 preseason games. As you can see, those live on NFL Network. Doubleheader on Friday. And here's your Saturday. Don't make any plans. Mow the lawn Friday night, kids. A quadruple header where we should see Trevor Lawrence, the #1 overall pick. Justin Fields will get some action, and of course, and some fanfare out there in that one. We've got you covered all weekend right here on NFL Network. And we've got you covered right here on a Tuesday, all show long. Good Morning Football presented by Audi. Live in New York City, August 10th. Peter Schrager, Nate Burleson, Kyle Brandt. My name is Kay Adams. Thank you for choosing us this morning. Grab your coffee and let's talk Patriots. Lead block.
Lead block.
Like I said, that's the first action. Washington football team at New England. It is, of course, on Thursday, right here on NFL Network. They've still got a bit of a quarterback competition going on at training camp. Our very own Mike Giardi has the latest on Cam Newton and macaroni and cheese.
Good morning, Kay. A pretty significant day in the Patriots quarterback competition on Monday in Foxborough. Both Cam Newton and Mac Jones put in similar situations, working with the ones and working with the twos, both working against the ones on defense and then against the twos. And I would say Mac Jones just a little bit better, which has been the case in the last 3 or 4 practices for Mac Jones. The back foot, the ball is coming out. Don't discount Cam, though. Again, clearly more comfortable in the offense and has shown it at various points during camp, and not afraid to push the ball down the field, take a couple deep shots today, and threw a beauty over the shoulder that James White, the running back, reeled in. But down in the red zone, it was Jones who threw the touchdown pass, where Cam Newton's pass was knocked away. Okay, back to you.
Oh, it's getting interesting. Fascinating observations there. Mike Giardi from camp will be following that quarterback competition all throughout the preseason, of course. I want to say they're contenders, but there's so many questions given what's going on with what you guys just heard from Mike Giardi and just everything in the landscape of a really tough AFC. Are they legitimate contenders where we stand right now?
Are we talking like the big deal, the conference?
I think so.
Or the AFC East?
The big deal.
Because I'll hear the AFC East. I will. And I know the arguments, and the defensive players are back, and they spent all these money on free agents, and that's great. That's fine.
AFC.
AFC, I can't get there. You know the words that jumped out to me in Mike Giardi's report? Don't discount Cam. Must be August. Guys, it's a rite of summer. We've been waiting 5 years for this. Can we just have a moment that we have this conversation every August? And I don't relish it. I don't. I'm not rooting for it. Cam Newton, come back when he becomes an all-pro would be incredible. But, like, there's a lot of good players in this league, and Cam is incredible. And I remember, you know, Shaq when he was on the Suns, and then the Cavs, and then the Celtics, and it was like, don't count out Shaq. Eventually,
the big Shamrock?
The big cactus, and the Shamrock, and whatever it was in Cleveland, the factory. I don't know what he was. But Cam, I just can't get there yet. I really can't.